Howdy again, this is Jarls Stewart of Dansk. The topic for today is going to be a topic that's a little hard to describe, but I'm going to do my best for you because it's a very essential part of becoming a part of your own group. The first thing that you need to do when you're starting off a group, after you have found a core group of people, or at very least one other person who shares your passion for Viking culture. And I'm not talking about somebody who is related to you, such as a wife or a husband or a boyfriend or a girlfriend. I'm talking about somebody who is not directly related to you, probably somebody who is very different than you and has very different ideas. And you both want to sit down, or the small group of you that you've been able to gather up so far, want to sit down and work on a working constitution. Now, it doesn't have to necessarily be labeled a constitution, but what it is it's a rule book basically about what your group standards are. Within my group's constitution, we have a mission statement, and we have ranks, what they mean, what you need to do to achieve them, benefits and downfalls of both ranks and positions, and basically a working governmental structure for your group. Now, to begin with, you only want a group structure that's going to accommodate a possible growth of your group to the next stage. So if you only have a couple people, group growth to maybe 6 to 10. If you have 6 to 10, a growth up to 20. You want to have that in place every time you hit a new stage. You want to begin to think about how you are going to change your constitution to fit the next stage of evolution for your group. Now, part of the Constitution should include rules for your group, such as rules for recruitment, rules for punishment, such as in my group, our rules for recruitment is that we do not close recruitment. Some groups like to close recruitment so that they can make sure to get only the right people who are very passionate and are willing to wait a few months in order to start getting into the group. Another type of recruitment possible limitation to recruitment is that you have only people who are physically capable of doing the encampment. So, you know, you have to pass a physical or something like very simple physical, not necessarily a medical physical, but somebody who can endure the rigors of whatever activities that you are planning on doing. Some groups, they want to build a Viking ship and sail to another continent on it. Well, you can't necessarily have people with severe ailments on that ship due to liability and the like. So that's a possible recruitment limitation. But our group doesn't limit recruitment whatsoever. I'd have a person in a wheelchair out on the battlefield so long as they could prove that they can be safe on the battlefield, and possibly require them almost always to have a helmet on or guarding chainmail to their face. But that's just me and my group. We have very little ex-nays on recruitment so long as you're capable of completing the tasks that our group is a part of. And of course, we give leeway if people are injured. We have them on, you know, leave and everything like that. But another part of the Constitution that you're going to need to, you know, really get on is the code of conduct or rules set for members of your group. Our group has a very limited code of conduct. We have rules such as you can't misrepresent our group poorly to other people. So you can't go to another festival as a loner and get so drunk that you do stupid stuff. We're against sexual assault. We are against murder, child you know, child molestation and everything like that, which is another part of our recruitment ex-nay, is that if you're on a sex offender registry for anything other than, you know, getting drunk and peeing on a public park bench 10 years ago, you're pretty much ex-nayed. And if you're on any kind of registry, you have to basically be voted in unanimously as they're okay to be in. Kind of to get into the rank specifics of a group, you want a hierarchy no matter what. My group is a true democratic group. Even myself, I'm only worth 1 vote. We have a system set up as to basically, if a decision needs to be made within 24 hours, any member in the leadership, so either a leader of a localized group or myself, can make a determination upon that emergency situation so that things don't get out of hand. Such as if one member sexually assaults another member. Realistically, anybody within the group can banish them, but you want a leader there to confirm the order. But even with this situation, there would be a checks and balances on it. So a tribunal or a general vote after presenting the evidence will be held after that initial calm down from an emergency situation happens. You know, somebody gets too drunk and rowdy and we banish them from the festival because they're acting very inappropriately and we need to do something to save face. After that point, the leadership's determination is judged by a tribunal, as well as the actions of the individual involved. Now, if the decision needs to be made within 24 hours, so such as you find a trailer that you've been saving up for as a group fund spend, and your budget was $700, you only have $500, but you find a trailer for $100. Now, you can't necessarily get everybody on the phone or get everybody in the chat to make sure that everybody gets their voted in our situation. So at that point, the council would have the immediate go-ahead to buy the trailer so long as it could be returned and the money returned. So then, later, it can be once again reviewed. And as I said, the council is for the 24-hour period. Now, we also have a general vote for anything that is not an immediate concern. Now, these would be things such as changes to the Constitution or changes to how you are going to do things, voting to see if you go to an event or the like. What you really want to get hammered down and also in these governing systems is ranks and positions. We have a council of 3. One of the council members is myself, the Jarl. The other 2 are my second in command, who basically the council member's job is to make sure that people are fit and ready when festival time comes around. So they harass them about getting their kits in line. They make sure that they're all packed up and everything like that, ready to go when it's festival time. When it's time to leave, they're the ones getting everybody in line to help them get stuff ready to leave. And generally, they're most like an NCO that is in the military. With the other council position is the head of projects. So whenever we want to do a project such as make our own festival, fundraise for a trailer, or work on a project that is just for the group, you know, like making a bunch of chests or making a bunch of tents, they're the ones that oversee the project and make sure that it meets deadlines, setting deadlines, and everything like that. For our ranking system currently, we have 4 ranks. We have recruits, which are basically anybody who not necessarily has shown up, or all the way to somebody who's shown up a few times, but hasn't really proved that they're going to be a long-standing member. And then the next rank up is the prospect, someone who has proven that they're going to, you know, stick around for a while and try and make it through all the trials and tribulations of becoming a full member. Now, these are people that have not been through what we currently call the gauntlet. Now, the gauntlet for a crafter is somebody who has their authentic kit, at least one set of it, and has authentic tools to reproduce a authentic craft from the Viking Age. And they pass this gauntlet by getting dressed up in kit, doing the craft with Viking Age tools in their kit. The gauntlet for fighters is basically someone who can prove that they are safe enough to be in the public view and fight and not hurt anybody. And someone who we can trust for them to travel on their own to another event and fight with other people without our oversight. This is an exceptionally grueling test. We don't require kit because realistically a kit would be destroyed with the amount of fighting that is done during a fighter test. Our fighter test, the gauntlet, is 10 minutes of continuous fighting. Kills don't count. People just keep on fighting. And every 2 minutes out of that 10, you face a new, brand new and fresh fighter who's going to do as much railing on you as possible. This test focuses on safety. If you commit a serious safety violation or even a moderate safety violation, you are immediately stopped in the test. If you give up on the test because it's actually a very physically grueling process, you fail the test. We do this because combats don't actually last all that long in our experience, and from what we've seen of even larger events, they rarely make it to 10 minutes of continuous fighting. And this is to basically put the body through the strain of the worst possible scenario on the battlefield, and that is surviving for 10 minutes of constant fighting. Now, with our test, once you have completed the 10 minutes and nobody has stopped you and said, no, you're done, everybody within the circle who was testing you has also been watching you be fighting with other people, not just themselves. So if anybody has a legitimate enough concern to question your safety after that, each person is asked by the leader of the circle, generally that's me, or whoever the ranking leadership official is, and basically they ask each person, are they good? And if everybody says that you're good, you pass. And that means that you reach the rank of ruined member. Now, ruined member is a full member who has just as much rights and privileges as any other member. And basically, they are expected to basically contribute to the group along our guidelines and do festivals. Now, there's one rank that is higher, and for the time being, we're actually going through a change within our ranks to possibly adding gear benefits to where each rank allows you to have more and more advanced gear as an attempt to make our group more authentic and keep everybody from having swords, because that was not the thing in the Viking Age. But the Huskarl rank is the highest rank that you can be within the organization, and it is given as an honorary title to somebody who has continually gone above and beyond the call of duty within our group. Somebody who has continued to give to the group, to basically leave a mark on the group's progress that is noticeable and will continue to be a major stepping stone throughout our history. Somebody who is distinguished themselves within either their craft or on the field of battle, and somebody who has completed at least a year with the group. Now, I'm not saying every group needs ranks like these or requirements like these. We allow our group, as soon as you go to your first training, you are considered a member in good standing and you're allowed to vote. Not every group does that. They wait till basically the equivalent position of rune member, or even higher. So you have to decide how you want to do that. We basically make it so that if you attend 2 trainings or crafting sessions every month, you maintain your right to vote. So these are just some ideas for you to create your own rule set and get you going on starting your group. So with that being said, this is Jarls Stewart again. You guys have a wonderful day, and let's get this thing going, all right?